Hi, good evening, friends. My name is Vaibhav Maitre, and I'm the co founder of Ooze Global. In today's day and age, it is extremely important to be happy. And in our pursuit to get you secret, we have with us Dr. Preeti Bhalla, a certified aptitude coach with experience in business as well as academic world. And she has been shaping minds for over 14 years now. With a doctorate in philosophy, on organizational culture, organizational role stress, and job satisfaction. She is committed to establish a foundation for a better and happier world. So, welcome to the show, Dr. Preeti Bhalla.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Indeed a pleasure to be here.
Thank you so much. So, we would like to tell our viewers that anybody who wants to ask questions related to this subject, they are free to do so. And we will take your questions as and when we see those on our screens. So, my first question, Dr. Bhalla, to you is tell us a little about your journey. I mean, how did you get into this field and why did you choose this field?
Okay, surely. But before starting that, I should actually say there is no secret to happiness. There is no secret. This is what we had been talking all across in all my sessions previously. For my journey, about the same. Journey is the path, and this we take this path towards a particular goal, and everybody knows journey is much more beautiful than the destination. But over here, the underlying question is why this journey started. What is the reason that we started with this journey of happitude or being happy? It for me, it happened all like 4 years back. In my life, everything was onto a perfect mode. I was blessed with a good job, with the family, business was running smoothly, kids were doing great. But there was something missing. There was something missing. That missing was my inner happiness. I I used to feel that all the achievements, all the success things, all the things around, might be a foreign trip, might be acknowledgement, everything that used to come to me as a fad, and it goes off. That was something that was like bothering me, and it was a trigger point where I started this journey, started searching for what is the real essence of happiness. And in my pursuit to happiness, I actually explored a lot of things available onto the literature and did certification courses, and I found out that there is no way to happiness. Exactly, there is no way to happiness. Happiness itself is the way.
Very well said. So, how does this term happitude arrived? I mean, you introduced this term or this term already exists? You reassured this term?
Uh, I would really say happitude as a word in the literature and the management sciences, it doesn't exist, but their strong correlation exists. Happitude is coined of two words. One is called as happy and other is called as attitude. And when attitude is a learned predisposition of mind, it is a learned predisposition of mind. Attitude can be nurtured in the way and a sense of a living, and attitude is literally everything. Every moment of the life, what we are reflecting is an attitude. And even if I would say for the job interview, everybody has that paper as a certificate, but in the job interviews, we are checking for the attitude of the candidate. And even for the marriage proposal interviews as well, what we are looking forward, how is the family, what is the attitude of the girl or the boy involved. So now when this attitude is defining our daily life, and if we collaborate it with the happy attitude, and that becomes an essence of a living, so this would actually bring a good revolution. And with at present, this buzzword of happiness has gone into everybody's mind. Everybody, the real meaning of living is not accumulation of wealth, it is to be happy. But in this ever changing time, in the time where this industrial agriculture or technological revolution is like so fast, and they are going at that a pace, adjusting to that mindset is difficult. And we are forgetting the real sense of living, that is being happy, making happiness as our attitude. Imagine the world where everybody start pursuing the same. What a beautiful revolution it would come over. Happy revolution. And this is what I would really come up with.
Definitely, I totally agree with you. So, being a certified Happitude coach, how does it help you as a professor at Lovely Professional University?
Yes, it does help me a lot. It actually, when we as a professor or as a person, we are dealing with people. Dealing with people means dealing with the mindsets. And when we are making and we are like molding that mindsets, this attitude does play a wonderful role. Let me put it over here. Like today is Saturday, Saturday, and tomorrow it's gonna be Sunday. Like imagine one Sunday morning we got up early from the bed and we planned of going to a park for a walk. And while on to my walk, I found that there is a young boy aged 7 to 8 years of age, and he is so engrossed playing with his own toys of sand and little stuff that he is so happy that happiness vibes is created and that happiness has affected me, and we come up with the smiles. On to the other hand side,
Right.
there is a boy who is like so depressed, so sad, similar age, and he's sobbing, he's crying, he's sobbing. And what would happen? What would maximum people prefer to? The maximum people would prefer moving to a happy child or a sad child. What do you
Absolutely.
think?
Yeah, yeah, happy
Definitely,
child.
the maximum people would opt for going towards a sad child to make him console him, and there would be few who would select for the happy. Similarly, every morning when we get up, our brain is a beautiful garden into which we have a thoughts that makes us sad, the bad experiences, and there are certain happy experiences. And it is my choice. Should I go towards the happy state of mind or the bad state of mind? And when I say about the attitude, it's a learned predisposition. And when we are making our kids learn this happy attitude, so what happens? They become much more fruitful, they become much more mindful. And when they're mindful, they are whole and complete in that particular moment of the life, in that particular assignment, in that particular lecture. So what happened? They do not need an extra like hard efforts, but just a little time of a concentrated effort, and the result is super. So this is actually helping us a lot. I really believe this doesn't help me as as being a professor in my professional front, but in my personal front too.
Very well explained. So, but tell me, happiness is not stable. It's you talked about, happiness be sustainable, and are there any parameters? How can one measure happiness? Question. I mean, that's a bigger question.
Okay, perfect. So exactly, sustainability is that always comes up with a question mark, and that needs our conscious efforts. I will let you make you move towards another experience. Imagine that that we are hungry for like 3 days, and we are served food. How will we eat it? We would just call on God a little because we are hungry. And imagine the same food is served to a food critic, and that food critic is just gonna take a single bite and gonna relish it and try to find all the flavors, all the species what has been added. Now the same food is served to a family. How the experience would be a little different. Now the same food is served into a business front, onto a business meet or something. Imagine, situations never changed. Situations changed, individual never changed. Our reaction changed. It changed.
Right.
So, how
Right.
we can assure in this changing aspect that sustainability is there? This sustainability is actually what we are feeding to our mind continuously. We are feeding to our mind in a manner that we have made it as a brain wiring. Brain wiring. It is a professional, I have to be very this way. It is personal, so I would be giggling around. So, what is happening? We have brain wired. The things have not changed, but we have changed. Imagine if we start brain wiring ourselves. Brain wiring is something like a wiring of a plug. I switch it on and the light is there. Switch it off, light is gone. Similarly, this happens to a normal human as well. I'm in the mid of a meeting and I find somebody standing outside whom I don't like. What would happen? My negative hormones would start playing the role and I would be very angry. Similarly,
Mhm.
if somebody like all of a sudden comes up whom I have a secret liking or I have a like a strong linkage with the same, what would happen? My happiness level would go to the next level and the change can be felt. Similarly, what has happened? It is the brain wiring. Imagine we start brain wiring our mind to look towards the positivities.
This is
If
a
we start
conditioning
brain
of brain
wiring
virus.
it,
Conditioning our mind or brain wiring our mind? What is the right?
Exactly, conditioning our mind with a situation, how we are making it go ahead with the deal with the things. Again, that is brain wiring. That is what is we call it as conditioning as well. So if I continuously start feeding with literally intentional way of positive feed, what would happen? A sustainable happiness that we can measure for ourselves. Even the departments can measure for themselves, organizations can measure for themselves, and then I would say the countries are measuring for themselves too. We in India, we are ranking on the 144th position onto the happiness index. So this is a matter of concern that we should look towards something that is much more sustainable, that would bring positivity, that won't be left out as a fashion, that is it is in trend and it goes off. Rather, it has to be a continuity of the efforts. I would come up with an example. It has been done there is a good science and theories behind it. I would really say in South Africa, in few of the hospitals, the management called all the doctors and asked that as and when you're dealing with the patients, you have to smile. And the doctors was, why we need to smile? Our effort is to give them the medicines. We are giving them the medicine. What is the reason we should smile up? They were like little hesitant, but the management pushed it a little further. And what happened? They like intentionally started putting up a fake smile, a plastic smile. And whenever we are smiling, what happens? Our mirror neurons of the mind start working. Whosoever is finding us smiling, they would smile with us. Mirror neurons play a beautiful role. We are smiling, the others are gonna smile. And when they people adopted it intentionally with a fake smile, after 10-15 days, it became a regular habit. And what happened? This is a proven fact. When we are happy inside, we are healing much more faster. And the hospital not only made the patients who were happy and satisfied with the services, but the number of patients also started coming much more. So again, there is a good sustainability provided we are nurturing it with the conscious efforts.
This looks very scientific the way you are explaining, and I'm sure if there is a science, there must be tools, there must be methodologies, there must be some framework which is designed. So I mean, tell us more, or tell us our viewers, what is the science behind it?
Exactly, I would really say over here, leading to a desired result, it is actually the magic of science. What
Uh-huh.
we need a
Mirror
desired
neurons
happiness.
is
The
something which
magic
I
of
heard for
science
the
plays
first
a role.
time. Mirror neurons is something which I heard for the first time. Being a science student, I've never heard about mirror neurons. When
Mirror
you see somebody
neurons.
smiling, you
That is the reason when we
you
see
tend to
somebody
feel.
yawning, also we start yawning.
Yeah.
Yes, and this science is actually working on a very methodological platform. And for the Happitude sessions, we have a lot of frameworks that we make go through all the sessions. Like we talk about the paradox of happiness. This paradox of happiness can be very well seen. During the pandemic period, a lot of people start accumulating a lot of things. That accumulation is what? It is a fear. If I want to judge somebody's personality, I what I need to do is I just need to open their cupboards, need to check upon how much things they have accumulated. The more they have accumulated, the more they are fearful. And this fear is something that's taking their joy, their happiness away. And little they are living in the minimalistics, what means they are much more happy. So we talk about a lot of things like a paradox of happiness. We talk about like a science. There is a science behind. The people actually wear this unhappiness as a badge. Unhappiness as a badge, because if they would tend to be coming up with smiling, they would be burdened with more of the task. But that's not true. That is one time, two time, but what happens, that becomes your personality. You would start adopting being oh, I'm sad. And there's always, like we talk about the current professionals, they are working, there's always a change in their personalities when they are in their office spaces and when they're going home, and they're carrying their negativities to the home, and that is having a huge impact. So again, we have a lot of things like an emotional signature. Emotional signature, we talk of like my happiness range. I go to the highest level of my happiness as +5 or +3, and I go to my depression level as +7, +8, +10. So there is a full range of the same. Then there is a good range of emotions. In happitude sessions, what we talk about actually is letting ourselves enjoy, feel all the range of emotions. Any emotion that we are trying to suppress, like for example, I'm angry, I'm trying to suppress my anger, what would happen? I would become fearful. I would go towards disgust. But if I'm angry and I portray my feelings to somebody, I would be sad for a some time. But what would happen? I would move towards the peaceful and the joyful stage. We
Mhm.
always come up like somebody has gone for a love marriage. The love marriage is the reason because we are loving each other. No, the reason is because we have enjoyed the journey together. Joy, joy of sharing, joy of taking care of each other, joy, we giggle, we laugh, we enjoy the company, and this joy factor that leads to love. So this is what we call as an emotional pathway that has a ladder towards it.
So tell us how difficult or how easy this is. I mean, this looks quite easy, but I'm sure you must have faced complicated people, complicated cases in the past. So can you share, how complicated this could be or how easy this is as a
I
coach?
would I would really put up this way that all humans are the complex beings. Everybody is a complex being, and we are complex because we have this magical black box here. How we are going to react, how we are going to respond, we do not know, we cannot guarantee. But there is something as an assurity because of our past experiences and something as a journey towards it. Like if I talk about, there was a situation in one of our close friends. It was a very young couple, and they were having like certain issues with their, again, the zones of happiness. The boy was with the zone from +2 to -7, just +2 and -7. He used to just have a simple smile, and the girl was from +6 to -3. So their zones of happiness were totally different, and when we are trying to match up two different individuals, that becomes difficult. But now this is a science that has just emerged up. If we look towards the history of the things, marriages were never sort of having this explanation of the things. So now what we have to do, we have to exercise our mind and make them feel and understand that life is going through the full range of emotions. A bouquet is beautiful, but if it is only red roses, it is beautiful, but if it has a collection of different roses, it becomes much more appealing. So when we are given an opportunity to understand, it is we the major problem is when we try to make the other person understand. I am in a conflict, and as a wife, I'm dealing my conflict. It would never be handled. I need to think out of the box. I need to step out. I have to leave my identity of a wife or as a employee or an employer. Then I have to think out of the box, and this is what is gonna make the situations better. And again, whenever we treat into the same thing, what we have to do is, again, we need to understand what roles we are playing. Are we playing a role of a mother? Because sometimes when I have an identity, I'm a mother. Anything that is happening to my child, I would be like, oh my goodness, how dare my things have. But I start assuming myself as a human, and somebody is trying to scold my child, I would assume, oh, it's better. The child is getting knowledge and directions from so number of people. See, the perspective changes. So whenever we are trying to treat some things, we try to change the perspective or the thought processes so that it can be aligned to the current situations.
So on a lighter note, one personal question: Dr. Preeti Bhalla को गुस्सा आता है?
डेफिनेटली। और मैं हमेशा यही प्रमोट करती हूँ, जब गुस्सा आए तो फूट लो, गुस्सा कर लो, बिकॉज दिस इज व्हाट वी टॉक अबाउट द फुल रेंज ऑफ इमोशंस. इफ आई एम एंग्री, एक्सप्रेस माई एंगर सो आई कैन मूव टूवर्ड्स द लेडर अप हिल एंड बिकम जॉयफुल. बट इफ आई वुड कंट्रोल माई एंगर, अपने दिल में रख लूंगी, तो मैं डिस्गस्ट की तरह चल जाऊंगी और रिलेशन टूट जाएगा. So we just need to be very transparent and enjoy all the range of rainbow of emotions.
Because what I personally feel is, and this is a very personal comment I'm giving from my side, when your emotion, whether it's negative or positive, when it's on high, आपको गुस्सा आ रहा है, बहुत ज्यादा गुस्सा आ रहा है, तो ये जो माइंड की ट्रेनिंग वाला पार्ट जो आपने बोला या कंडीशनिंग वाला जो पार्ट बोला, वो दिमाग में आएगा ही नहीं, मतलब
आएगा
बाय
नहीं.
डिफॉल्ट आपको उसके लिए बहुत मेहनत करने की जरूरत है, आपको उसके लिए बहुत कोशिश करना पड़ेगा कि वो आपके दिमाग में रहे, बैक ऑफ द माइंड, सबकॉन्शियस में कहीं ना कहीं ये रहे कि हाँ आपको गुस्सा नहीं करना है, या करना है तो सुपरफिशियली वो निकल जाए, बस उतना करना है. सो
Very rightly said, this happens. And this is what we talk about the conscious efforts. Way we start is whenever we are in the mid of any heated argument, the first thing is isolate yourself. Give it a thought.
isolate yourself. Okay.
Isolate yourself, give it a thought. A beautiful story of Buddha I would like to correlate over here is Buddha was one of his voyagers and he was very thirsty. So he asked one of his disciples to go and get a glass of water from a nearby pond. So the disciple went and tried to fetch the water, but the water was very dirty because recently a cart has moved. So when a cart has moved from a pond, what happened? The water get the sand get disturbed and it is a muddy water. So disciple went to the Buddha. I said, "Okay, like pond is there, but water is not like which you cannot drink. So let's move like 100 more steps and there would be water which we can feed. But that is not assured." He said, "Don't worry, I will wait here and we will fetch the water after an hour." He went there again. And then what happened? He said, like, water is settled, but it is not so good till. So he said, no worry. After 15, 20 minutes, after interacting with a lot of more people, then he sent and the water was ready. And then he asked his disciple, what you have learned about it?
Mm-hmm.
What you have learned about us when our mind is disturbed and we are trying to take the actions, reactions, and handle the situations without all arguments, it would never happen. Let it, leave it
Beautiful.
undisturbed, and what would happen? It would settle down. And as and when the things are settling down, the things are becoming much more clear, and we can get to know किसकी गलती थी, किसकी नहीं गलती थी, कैसे इसको डील करना है. बस एक थोड़ा सा एरिया दे दो कि don't talk, I mean, isolate yourself.
Most of the decision happen in the spur of that moment. I mean, वो एक थोड़ा सा एक बड़ा आर्गुमेंट और वहां डिसीजन आपने ले लिया गलत.
Exactly. Why this is happening is again, this is a lot of change that is going around us, and our mind is basically made like a beautiful, like I would really say, this frontal lobe of ours, it is such a beautiful simulator that makes us assume the things that are gonna happen. But what happens when we are in that strong emotion? We are not assuming, but we are just assuming मेरे लिए सही है, ये मेरे लिए गलत है, और हम उसके साइड इमेजिनेटिव्स कभी भी इमेजिन नहीं करते. What happens?
Right.
Arguments go to the next level and the things get bad. Again, it is continuous nurturing. That is the reason why we say it is nurturing is much more important than understanding. Understanding is just you understood and never implemented it. Nurture is, it is a conscious effort grooming one day, like the doctors in Africa, they came up with this fake smile, fake smile, fake smile, and that went into them.
So very well explained. I will not take much of your time, but I definitely want to have a piece of advice for a budding professional. I mean, one success mantra, and what is your one tip for them if they want to practice, Happitude, and how can they connect with you if they want to do a workshop on Happitude?
Okay. I would come up with my piece of learning, that the things that I have learned across my years of thing, the most important thing is start loving your own self. Happiness comes when we start understanding. We start understanding that are we actually living into something? Are we living being a puppet? We are just doing the things what others like, what others desire. And are we living to please other, or are we living to be what we are? As
Right.
and when we would start understanding what I am, what is my individuality, I would start loving myself. And if I would love myself, this is where an attitude of happiness would come up.
Mm-hmm.
And this is what is like, see, if I talk about the scriptures, there are somewhere as 25,000 definition of happiness itself, but
Mm-hmm.
one doesn't fit to everybody because everybody is an individual. I have my own definition of happiness, everybody has their own definition of happiness, and we try to fit. किसी के कपड़े लेके हम पहनने की कोशिश करेंगे ना तो अच्छे नहीं लगेंगे. And this is what we are
Ah,
trying to do.
great.
We are trying to make show off that we are living the life of certain heroes, heroines, or we have this and that. And when this is a second hand living of ours, जब हम ये second hand चीजें लेके और like we are assuming that we would be pleasing the world, or we would be much more happy, what happens? The real essence of living is lost. Sometimes I talk to my students as well. What we do onto the Facebooks and Instagrams, what we do, we try to present ourselves what we are. I have never seen somebody like clicking a photo, आज मैं बहुत दुखी हूँ, आज मुझे डांट पड़ी है. So what it is just we are trying to present ourselves. Instead of presenting ourselves to others, let's start presenting to our own self. What is my definition of happiness? What is my essence of living? So for that, I need to understand myself, I need to love myself, I need to respect myself. And when I would start this, I would definitely grow with the happiness zones in my own self. And for the sessions, I am here in lovely professional university, and we go ahead with the numerous of the sessions. And that is for like EDPs, MDPs, everything we are getting ahead. So anybody can like connect me onto the LinkedIn, Facebook, anywhere.
You can even connect now, Ooze, and we will connect you to Dr. Bhalla. So, Dr. Bhalla, last thing, which is again out of curiosity, I'm saying, if somebody comes to you, what is the duration of such sessions, and usually how much time it takes for anyone to, change into a different person altogether? I mean, I definitely summarize, love yourself and you are your best friend and foe. So all those things put together, but uh, if we have to start from the very basic, how much time do you think would be required to
See,
transfer?
I would really, yes, I would really put onto this thing because it is a science, it's a literature, it is a science, it has a huge volumes of things. If you want to go into the depth of it, it takes a lot of time. But sometimes just a little nudge towards a direction, just a direction, or even the self analysis of the aspect, like that emotional signature is all about defining yourself, letting you actually feel what we are. So this training sessions, they go for like somewhere as 2 days to 6 days and even to 15 days. And sometimes we do it only on Saturdays and Sundays for all those professionals who are working out. So it just depends upon the range of the time. And further on, what matters is not the aspect, but it is nurturing. Nurturing. So nurturing is always when we start understanding it and we have a heart to make it get going.
Great. So it was really lovely talking to you, and I'm glad that we spoke. And our audience is there. If there are questions, we can definitely welcome those questions. Plus, you can always put in the comment that if you want to connect with Dr. Balla, or if you have any direct communication with her, we will definitely take those ahead. Thank you so much, Dr. Balla, and we'll love to have more sessions with you. And
Thank you so
pleasure
much.
having you on Who's Global. Thanks for joining.
Thank you. Thank you. Thanks for the platform as well. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Bye bye.